Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege. It's another day in life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Monday. What an interesting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. Sam Bankman-Fried is in the news, and I believe in trouble for what he is doing. We're going to cover that. John Deaton says settlement's not likely. BitBoy says settlement is likely. Oh, we'll get into that. I'll share my thoughts on that stuff. Interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff. Listen, guys, in this particular time in 2023, I think it is more important to focus on what we will do, the decisions that we will make to create generational wealth in 2023. They are trying to take it away from us. They're trying to take it away from us. And we got to understand the things that we need to do in order to prevent that from happening. And I believe in 2023, it is about the mantra. It's about leveling up, layering foundations for generational wealth by purchasing, increasing positions and assets. Because I believe 100% we're moving from a debt-based system to an asset-backed system. Very, very similar to what Jimmy Valley is talking about and sharing in asset-backed digital currencies. I think that is the thing that is going to happen. I really, really do believe that. So we're going to go over, I don't know what's the deal with the XRP spiking down 10%. Got a guy on crypto Twitter talking about he's got word. Someone told him, little birdie told him that there's a top 20 crypto that's going to get a no action letter from the SEC. Isn't that interesting? So we'll cover that, guys. Listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's go with the market, because the market is doing what the market does. Let's look at the total cryptocurrency market cap according to CoinGecko. I just refreshed it just to be certain. It is at 839 billion, down from over 3 trillion. Yeah, over 3 trillion. The Bitcoin dominance is at 38.3%. Bitcoin is trading at $16,683. Ethereum is trading at $1,215, and XRP is trading at 34.5 cents. So when did that little spike take place? I guess it was sometime last night. Nothing, so it dumped 10% in about, someone said in about an hour? Or maybe, about an hour, something like that, I believe is the word. But in any case, 34 cents is not the fair market value. We all know the intentional suppressing of the XRP price. It is 1,000% intentional. All right, so let's go with some of this crypto Twitter stuff. So John Deaton laid out some of the stuff in the redactions of the Hinman emails, right? So in the redaction, 2 words appeared: redacted. When you read the entire paragraph in context through its safety, though, it's safe to say one of the words is confusion or speculation. The director of trading and markets, Brett Redburn, replied that the Hinman speech would cause, quote unquote, more speculation, or is it something else? I believe it makes sense that it's market confusion. Just makes sense to me. Let me read it to you. All right. Third, the SEC argues that its own guidance gave fair notice. A jury could reasonably conclude that the SEC's guidance added to the confusion rather than removing it. That is what the industry told the SEC at the time, and what the SEC's own director of trading and markets recognized in candid internal comments. Hinman warning that Hinman's speech would cause, and it's redacted, it just makes sense that it would be market confusion, in my humble opinion. We're going to go over the settlement or not settlement thing, and I'll give my take on that as well. And John Deaton reminds us of something that I think is significant and we just can't forget. Remember when Brian Armstrong, CEO, co-founder of Coinbase, could not get a meeting with the SEC, couldn't get a meeting. Talking about the largest exchange in the U.S. and couldn't get a meeting. That's the exchange that's going to get sued. It's going to be Coinbase, in my opinion. So, well, chart alert says breaking. Chairman of the U.S. SEC Commission, Gary Gensler, met with Sam Bankman-Fried twice in 6 months. And I know we covered that. And I think it's just hugely important. How is it that Sam Bankman-Fried in this space for half a second can get meetings with Gary Gensler and Coinbase CEO, founder, who's been in this space from the beginning, the largest exchange with the most stuff in the USA, can't get a meeting? You can't even get a meeting to tell them that you're going to get all the information on them to sue them? You can't get a meeting. Yet Sam Bankman-Fried gets a meeting with him twice. Gensler's in trouble. Gensler's in trouble. Now, Attorney Bill disagrees with John Deaton's thesis on a settlement. Attorney Bill says, as usual, John, that is a very well thought out and reasoned thread. I partly agree and partly disagree with you. As you thought disclosures of the Hinman email would be a big factor pushing the SEC towards settlement, your view that the SEC now accepts they will be disclosed has an influence on your conclusion about the likelihood of a settlement. I agree with you that the Hinman emails are probably not as damaging to the SEC as we thought, although the SEC may be relying on the document being sealed because they are not relevant to the issue in a summary judgment brief, which is what the SEC argued in its motion to seal lives on the 22nd of December. So I'm not going to go through this whole thread here, but Attorney Bill doesn't agree with John Deaton. And John Deaton is said that the SEC is unlikely to settle. Shout out to Michael Branch for sharing this. Ripple settlement with the SEC is unlikely, says Deaton. Now, it's a long thread. John goes through kind of a long little thread of why he believes, that it's not going to happen. I don't want to go through the long thread, but ultimately, he just doesn't think that the settlement's going to happen, right? So we got interesting stuff, right? John here is saying, where is it? John says, yeah, settlement not likely. Oh, and our guy, Big Boy Crypto, Ripple settlement cycle, Ripple settlement with the SEC, unlikely, says Deaton. And he kind of goes over some stuff because he did a poll. Remember the poll that he did? In a Twitter thread yesterday, John Deaton argued that an out-of-court settlement in the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission case against Ripple is unlikely, predicting that the case will get a court ruling instead, summary judgment. Will the case settle? John, remember the vote. After 18,000 votes, the poll shows 59% of people believe a settlement will happen. John said, to be honest, 59% is higher than I would have guessed. A year ago, I believe the settlement was likely because the SEC wouldn't want the Hinman emails made public. Wouldn't want these made public. So John is saying no. Not Bill. Attorney Bill doesn't agree with him. But our guy, Big Boy Crypto, Ripple will win and Gary Gensler to resign in 2023. Well, he can win in summary judgment. Ripple can win in summary judgment. Here's the thing that I think. To me, everything hinges on this, what is going to be sealed and not, and be unsealed, rather, right? That's what I think. That's where it falls and lies, dies, ends, and begins with that right there. But I just personally think above everything that goes on here with the SEC and Gary Gensler, his main goal is ascension to the U.S. Treasury and taking over Janet Yellen position there. And whatever is going to not set a roadblock to that is what he's going to do. And to me, an L, you get this L at summary judgment, right? Because a settlement is a win-win. But if you get an L, if you risk the L, it's over. You got people in Congress and his side of the aisle, the Democratic side of the aisle, you know, not happy, pushing towards some stuff against Gary Gensler, like, you know, get the dude out of there type stuff. He's got to deal with that. He's not going to risk, in my humble opinion, a judge who's already said that the SEC doesn't have a faithful allegiance to the law. He's not going to risk it, in my humble opinion. He is not risking that. And I personally believe he settles. But we'll see what happens with this whole seal and unseal, redacted, whatever. Brad Garlinghouse, let us not forget that Brad Garlinghouse, you know, after they got those emails, you know, very, very powerful statement about the SEC's, you know, BS about transparency and wanting clarity and all this other kind of stuff. It's when the truth comes out, it would be shameful to the SEC. And you got to get, to me, the other factor in this is, what is the thing that's going to get Stuart Alvarado and Brad Garlinghouse of the world to no longer say anything? Settlement. Summary judgment won't do it. Summary judgment won't do it. But what's going to get Stuart Alvarado and the facts and Brad Garlinghouse and, you know, the kind of take what they got, move on, and you know, and limit their talking, limit it, is a settlement. Summary judgment, I think it goes on and on and on, because I don't think that Brad, Stuart Alvarado are happy, you know, with just a settlement, right? They get the settlement, they get to move forward, but in terms of being able to speak about the madness that is Gary Gensler SEC, that is at summary judgment. So I think to the SEC's benefit is a settlement. I really, really do believe that. Number one, keeps them quiet because you can write all this stuff in, right? Can't talk about it, can't discuss it, you can do all that in settlement. Summary judgment, toast, history. And I don't think hashtag Gary Gensler is not your friend. Risk that at all. I want to end with something I think is important to kind of consider. The Legislative Council of Hong Kong passed legislation that will soon open up virtual assets to retail investors. And local financial services are lining up for licensing approval. We're so early. We are so early, so blessed to be able to participate in this, the fourth industrial revolution, in this new asset class that is called the digital asset space. I hope you guys know that. Remember, 2023 is about leveling up. Tell me what you know about XRP. Tell me what you know about the digital asset space. Tell me what you know about DeFi. Share with me. What are you doing in the traditional financial space? Are you aware of the fact that when you deposit your money in a bank, it is no longer yours? Are you aware of the fact that when your partnership with TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, you don't own that stuff? It's just an IOU. Tell me about the book that you're reading. 2023 is going to be, the mantra is going to be level up. All right, guys, listen, this wraps up the XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you enjoyed the hangout, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one, like I do all of my videos, and remind you guys of this: that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sideline? Here's what I do know: that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.